Hey there, I'm Cloud Q, and today I want to talk about my boy, Cloud Strife. FF7 Rebirth has a big focus on its main characters, and throughout the game, each and every one of them has moments where they get to shine, be it through side quests, the main scenario, or the dialogue options. So of course, it's no different for the main character Cloud, who's one of my personal favorites. In this video, I want to highlight some of my favorite Cloud moments and talk about why I like them, and just spread some appreciation for how well Rebirth portrays its characters. This video will contain major spoilers, and they will mostly continuously get more and more important the further you get into the video, so be warned of that. I am planning to do one of these videos for all the main characters, because I think there's legit so many cool moments that would be fun to look at together. But for now, let's jump into my top 10 Cloud moments from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, in no particular order.
Alright, let's get this show on the road, people!
The Sephiroth Synergy Attack. In the very first chapter of the game, Cloud gives his telling of the events in Nibelheim that lead to Sephiroth becoming who he is. When playing through the section, eventually you will come up against a boss, the Materia Guardian. In this fight you will first be introduced to the game's synergy attacks, and the one Cloud can use with Sephiroth ends up being a pretty cool moment.
You're practically panting.
I'm excited.
Such a puppy.
Whoa, that was insane.
It's just great, like straight out of a fanfic that young Cloud would have written about his hero Sephiroth. Like, literally. The attack itself is also very badass and very fitting of the two swordsmen. Besides that, it introduces the synergy abilities, which is just a win too, because it's one of the most fun aspects of the combat in general. The next one is a smaller Cloud and Barret moment. It's actually completely optional too. In Chapter 2, when you first get to discover Calm, you have the first set of optional dialogue choices that impact your relationships with the other main characters. While also sort of being our introduction to these little talks, the one with Barret seems particularly cool, and it's just one of those many little moments that stayed with me.
Multiple reactor bombings.
Look who it is. You up already?
Drinking already?
Ha, no sir. Not gonna have a drop till 7th Heaven's back up and running.
First one's on me, okay?
Now that's what I'm talking about. Gotta remember to order some top shelf stuff in that case. Got a long road ahead of us. Better make sure you're prepped for the journey.
It's just a really fun moment when thinking back to Remake, where Cloud and Barret have a more than shaky start to their friendship. But it's so huge in a way, coming from Cloud, to offer something like that. While at the same time it actually feels very in character. Like, it's very much the type of thing that Cloud would do, but definitely not with anyone, so it's still very meaningful for Cloud to say that. Of course, this one is optional, not everyone will even see that exact dialogue, but that's all the more reason to show you guys. The speech in Junon. When reaching Junon after following the black robes, Cloud, Tifa and Aerith dress up as infantrymen to blend in with the crowds of military assembled in Junon for the new president's parade. They decide they want to go and have a word with the president Rufus, and to get close to him, they take part in the parade. Through unforeseen circumstances, Cloud ends up becoming the captain of Midgar's 7th Infantry Division, and right before the parade, he has to give a speech.
Midgar 7th 7th Infantry! Attention!
You're on.
Listen up. As we march, the eyes of the whole world will be watching us. And we,
And we cannot, we will not, let our great city of Midgard down. Failure is not an option. It's a big ask, but we can do it. Together.
Because we have our captain to guide us. Look to him, trust in him, and he will lead us to victory. So long as we follow.
Isn't that right, sir?
right.
Now bring it home.
Today is our day. It was made for the 7th Infantry. We will win that commendation for our city. And we will return home as champions!
Yes, sir!
Who's gonna show the rest of them how it's done?
We are!
I can't hear you!
We are!
Captain, the parade's about to start.
Don't want to be late, sir.
Of course.
I like this scene for multiple reasons. On one hand, it actually showcases a very important aspect of Cloud. When he's supposed to give the speech, he's unsure at first. He doesn't really know what to say, but then Aerith and Tifa jump in to help him out. And with a bit of help, he really gets into it. So much so that Aerith and Tifa actually have to stop him because he's so in the moment at that point. And the aspect that it shows is that a big part of Cloud is the connections he has with his friends. It's a big part of what makes him strong. They help him fight, figuratively and literally. Cloud has a ton of potential, and in a lot of moments his friends help him tap into it. And exactly that is shown in this scene so beautifully. He struggles at first, but with the help of Aerith and Tifa he really gets into it and nails the rest of the speech. And then, because he gets a little too into it, Aerith and Tifa are there to let him know, like, yo, we should go get to the parade. It might not seem super significant at first, but it's a very Cloud moment in my opinion. There's a part of the Ultimania that I found on Blue Sky that actually talks about this moment, and it's titled An Unexpected Extrovert. And I think it very beautifully sums up the scene. Though ordinarily cool and brusque, there's a side to Cloud that tends to get caught up in the energy of the moment. When delivering a speech in Junon to rouse the 7th Infantry, he initially struggles for words, but after some positive feedback from his subordinates, Cloud's spirits begin to rise, and it ultimately takes Aerith and Tifa to halt his repeated rallying cries. What can I say? He's just like me for real. On the topic of just like me for real, the next one, it's Cloud's reaction to Tifa and Aerith in beachwear. Yeah, not much context needed.
Totally my type. How's it going? Like, seriously.
Look at these two. Not even trying to blend in. Honestly.
Did you miss us?
Cloud? Something wrong?
No. Nothing. It's just hot. In the sun. Speaking of which, you guys should probably put on sunscreen.
You might want to go first.
That's some sage advice, Mr. Pasty.
So, Cloud is very obviously flustered, but he totally doesn't show it at all. And very obviously, he's definitely not mentally tweaking here. But, to be fair, he kinda saved it in a way. Like, obviously, if you're a true empath, you might be able to notice that he is nervous. But he doesn't, like, make it too weird, or at least not bad kind of weird. So props to Cloud for that. I think there's a lot of people who would have definitely fumbled that interaction way harder. protective of Aerith. The next ones are actually more or less very subtle moments. It's basically the way that Cloud tends to react to danger when Aerith is around, or when she in particular might be threatened.
Absence certainly makes the heart grow fonder, my friend. Still playing hard to get, eh? Well, I've got news for you, young man. As if by fate, the Speed Demon has been entrusted with a singular task. Retrieving one Aerith Gainsborough.
Me?
You come alone?
It only takes two to tango.
Well, look who it is.
You here to pick a fight?
What? Oh, no.
I love how Rebirth has so many smaller details, like how the way the characters position themselves in cutscenes actually shows us things about them. And it's also just very cool to see how protective Cloud and also Tifa are of Aerith. It really shows how important Aerith is to them. Very cute moments. One's more than enough. This one takes place relatively late in the game, so all of the main FF7 party is actually around. And basically they are headed to the Gold Saucer and they just docked at Costa del Sol.
Hey, y'all are headed to the saucer, ain't you? I might could tag along, take in the splendor. What do you think?
Of course.
Girl always knows just what to say, am I right? Shall we?
Wait a sec. Where's Vincent?
Up there?
Another loner. As if one wasn't enough of a pain in my ass.
Yeah, one's more than enough. You mean me?
It's just funny. Cloud is definitely showcasing that he didn't read Self-Awareness 101, and also it's just one of the few wholesome moments we get with the whole party around, which is neat. Apologizing to Tifa. For the next moment we will jump back again with the story. Right at the beginning of the game, when in Calm, Tifa and Cloud have a bit of a fight after Cloud tells about how he remembers the Nibelheim incident. The clip I want to show is sort of like the aftermath of that fight, but it takes place in Under Junon.
Oh. Hey. Perfect timing. I was just about to come find you.
Yeah,
You...
regret what I said in Calm.
Oh. Come in.
I should have never doubted you.
It's fine. I never should have doubted you either.
Cloud is a bona fide badass, but you know what's more badass than being strong as heck and wielding a huge sword? Apologizing. Admitting that you were wrong, which Cloud does here. I think that alone is an awesome thing, but also the relationship between Cloud and Tifa develops so interestingly in this game, which this scene is of course a part of. Opening up to Tifa. On the topic of Cloud and Tifa, there's another scene I absolutely loved in that regard. The one when Tifa wakes up in Gongaga after falling into the livestream at the reactor.
I'm no hero. What kind of hero falls off a cliff with the person he's trying to save and pushes him into a pool of Mako? Sometimes, I don't even know who I am. I forget things everyone else remembers just fine, and know things I've got no right knowing. It's like there's different people inside of me. And the worst part is, I can't even tell where they end and I begin.
Go on.
Soldier cells degrade. I think that's what's happening to me. That I'm falling apart.
That's not going to happen to you. You saved me before. Now it's my turn.
It's just a really great scene of both Tifa and Cloud opening up to each other. Cloud admitting his feeling of weakness and sharing his worries about losing himself. And Tifa assuring him is like the cherry on top for this scene. It honestly may be among my favorite scenes from the game, especially given that it's a Rebirth original. Sephiroth, take the wheel. Now, sort of related to this is the next moment. Before Tifa falls into the livestream, there's a scene where Cloud seemingly isn't quite himself. There's more scenes like that at the Temple of the Ancients, but in order to not make this video too long, I'll just show 2 of the scenes.
Let that righteous anger guide you.
Cloud! Stop! That's enough!
I don't want to die. Please.
It's not death. It's a homecoming. Let's keep moving.
Personally, I absolutely adore the way they portray this side of Cloud, where he gives in to his demons, where he lets Sephiroth take the wheel. They've absolutely nailed those scenes, and I think the reaction of Tifa and Barret says everything. Also, I can't stress this enough, big shout out to Cody Christian for his amazing performance as Cloud. He's a big part of why all this, in the end, actually works as well as it does. Now, let's talk about some fan service. And no, I'm not talking about anime kind of fan service. We already covered beachwear. But I'm talking about the thing that everyone thought would be saved for part 3. But they did it in Rebirth anyways, because the remake trilogy is cool like that. I'm talking about Cloud and Zack side by side. Let's frickin' go, dude.
How about that?
Well, nice to see you too. So, I hear you've been pretty busy. Oh. How's about we save the catching up for later?
Sephiroth! Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor as a soldier.
Hell yeah. That's all I have to say. Hell yeah. I love this game. Yeah, next time. Now, if you know when these fights take place, you know we are very late into the game. And this last moment is very much taking place around the peak of Rebirth's story. I'm trying to give context for all the clips, but it's actually kinda hard for this one without either saying very little or like a lot. So I'll just say this. Aerith and Cloud are on one more date at the end of the game, and Aerith wants to go to their spot together.
This is it, right? Our spot?
Bingo.
That was easy.
I told you it was obvious.
Well, you'll have to give me a harder one next time.
Oh? Next time?
Yeah, next time.
At least I know now. Where you and I stand, I mean. Thing is, Cloud, I really like you. But then, like can mean a lot of different things, can't it? 'Cause there's liking, and then there's liking.
Seriously, what's going on? You've been weird all day.
I'm sorry.
There's one specific line in this that stands out to me, and it's actually optional. There's two versions of this scene. But in this one, Cloud saying, "Yeah, next time," is so peak to me. It's peak, but at the same time it's painful, because with Aerith's life being at risk, will there actually ever be a next time? Now, besides that, the whole scene is just incredibly beautiful cinematically. I didn't show it all, because the latter half of that scene is probably more of an Aerith moment rather than a Cloud moment, but I just adore this whole sequence. It's definitely among my favorite scenes in Rebirth. Now that's it for today. I know there's definitely more cool moments involving Cloud, but I'll save those for future videos for now. What are your favorite Cloud moments? Is it one I mentioned? Is it another Rebirth or remake moment? Or even another moment from one of the other games that he appears in? Definitely let me know in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more Final Fantasy content. I'm Cloud Q, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.